we get ready for the Fox Saturday Baseball Game of the Week today, the New York Yankees and the Baltimore Orioles, an AL Eastern Division matchup. And welcome to the broadcast booth, everybody. I'm Joe Buck. Tim McCarver will join me in just a moment, but not until we show you what happened last night here at Oriole Park at Camden Yards. The New York Yankees continue their stomp toward the postseason. They came up with 7 runs in the 9th inning. In the 6th inning, this 3-run home run from Paul O'Neill, and the Yankees with a 15-5 victory last night. If the Yankees can get 6 wins in their remaining 10 games, they would finish with 112 victories, which would be the most in the history of the American League. And I welcome in my partner, Tim McCarver. And Tim, believe it or not, with all those great numbers and a chance to have the best record in the history of the AL, a lot of people wonder what's wrong with the New York Yankees. That's the nature of the beast around here. And I ask you, what's wrong with the New York Yankees?
Well, the Yankees 13-15 over the last month, and there are troubles in paradise, and we realize that a lot of teams in the big leagues would love to have the Yankee problems. The 2 primary problems, Hideki Irabu and Andy Pettitte. Irabu was good in his last start. He beat Tampa Bay 3-0. Andy Pettitte starts on Monday night. And then what do you do with 4 players, 2 positions? I think Chad Curtis will be the defensive replacement in left field. Chili Davis will be the DH. And then Joe Torre will go as far as he can with Darryl Strawberry and Tim Raines. But the key is Andy Pettitte. I think what Joe would like to do against either Texas or Anaheim is start David Wells in the first game. He's the only pitcher that's going to pitch 2 if the division series goes 5 games, and then come back with Andy Pettitte in game 2 because of Yankee Stadium in the big left field, and then have David Cone start game 3.
Well, around here in Baltimore, the only thing that is constant is change, and that's already happened with Kevin Malone leaving the front office here. He's now the GM out in Los Angeles. You look at a list of the unrestricted free agents that could hit Baltimore and leave Baltimore at the end of this year. And the big name is Rafael Palmeiro. Right now, today's game, one of the best run producers going.
Orioles fall out of trees, but not a guy like Rafael Palmeiro. 35 home runs, 100 RBIs over the last 4 years, and guys like that just don't come along that often.
David Cone goes for win number 20 today on Fox Saturday Baseball. We hope you're ready. It's the Orioles and the Yankees. The first pitch coming up after this from your home for the 1998 World Series, your local Fox station.
You're watching Fox Saturday Baseball Game of the Week.
For Jake, it's a 100-year-old tradition that's new this morning.
We'll have Thomas's. Thomas's? Just watch me.
Thomas's English muffins. Toast up crisp and golden.
It looks funny. That's the nooks and...
Crannies.
Crannies.
Just like Mr. Thomas made them over 100 years ago.
I made this good. You had a great teacher.
The goodness of Thomas's English muffins. Also with real blueberries or apples and cinnamon. 2 more fresh ideas from Thomas's.
What a home sale! Red Letter savings on everything for your home now through Saturday at Hills. Canon Classic Percale Sheets, 2 for just $7. Canon Classic Bath Towels, 4 for $12. Save on Springs Royal Traditions Bath Towels, now 2 for $10. Springs Oversized Plush Palatial Bath Towels are 2 for just $12. Rest easy on Canon Traditions Pillows, now $4.97. Or choose Canon Advantage Strike Pillows, just $5.97. Wrap up any of these incredible Hills home values. Your choice, $9.97. Now through Saturday, it's the home sale with Red Letter savings only at Hills.
I'm going to be a marine biologist or a dolphin trainer.
I'm going to be a magician like my idol Harry Houdini.
I'm going to be the best girl soccer player that ever lived. I'm going to be a vet and live on a farm. I'm going to find a cure for cancer.
I'm gonna wait to have sex, because right now, I've got other plans.
I'm gonna travel the world.
Not me, not now, because nothing's going to get in the way of my dreams.
Chuck Schumer's a New York City liberal, and he proves it every day. Chuck Schumer voted for the 3 largest tax increases in American history. Chuck Schumer voted for more welfare and against workfare. And Chuck Schumer voted for less jail time for violent criminals. Liberal Chuck Schumer. Wrong on taxes. Wrong on welfare. Wrong on crime. Wrong for us.
Welcome back, my friends. Here's to the show that never ends. We're so glad you could attend. Come inside, come inside. Come inside, the show's about to start.
Second base. I love this. Unbelievable. Oh, man.
The division series begins September 29th on Fox.
Well, it's baseball time on the Fox Saturday Baseball Game of the Week, and right on cue. This is going to be a good day, Tim. This is going to be a good day. The Orioles take the field, and Rafael Palmeiro, who's the DH today, this is all right. We'll take a quick photo op down the right field line before the Orioles take on the Yankees. See what Rafael Palmeiro is doing is picking out a young kid to give a baseball to, and who knows, maybe make the ceremonial first pitch.
You wonder if that ball is numbered or not.
I think he'll get it back. So the kid, the shock is wearing off, and he's going down to make the ceremonial first pitch. Just another thing the Orioles are doing to get the kids involved, and what an exciting moment that is for that young man.
Oh, that's nice. Good deal right there.
So Rafael, who's the DH in this game on a Saturday afternoon, picks this young man. Wow. He gets it to the plate.
What a gun he's got.
And Chris Hoyles will go out, shake his hand. This little kid's wondering what the heck just happened. Here's the lineup that kid might face. The MCI starting lineup for the New York Yankees. Chuck Knobloch will lead off at second base. Derek Jeter bats second at shortstop, with Paul O'Neill in right field doing his usual thing. He's been red hot over the last 9 games and comes in with a third best average in the American League. Bernie Williams will clean up in center. Tino Martinez at first base. Chili Davis the DH. Darryl Strawberry in left. Scott Brocious at third, and Joe Girardi is catching in batting ninth. The defense for the Baltimore Orioles, one thing that their manager Ray Miller is very proud of is their team defense. They have committed just 75 errors, #1 by a long shot in the American League. We highlight Alomar, and now we look at the young right-hander Sidney Ponson.
Are you talking about the kid facing a lineup? Sidney Ponson does not turn 22 until November the 2nd of this year, and he is a hard thrower. Overpowering fastball with great movement. The one problem, wild in the strike zone, and that could take an explanation. Jim Palmer talking to Jim, the great Oriole pitcher and Hall of Famer, 3-time Cy Young Award winner, saying that it's not a bad problem to have. At least he does throw strikes. But when you're wild in the strike zone, that means you're not living on the corners, and big league players gear themselves to hit the ball on the fat part of the plate, and that's one of the problems Ponson has had in his early career.
Chuck Knobloch will be first up, trying to find that nasty delivery from Ponson. He is a hard thrower. You mentioned how it's tough to find guys like Rafael Palmeiro these days. It's tough to find good, young, hard-throwing pitchers these days, and Ponson is one of them.
You have to go to Aruba to find them sometimes.
Well, this broadcast is also available in Spanish by utilizing the ASAP button on your television. Glad you're with us on Fox on a Saturday, and it'll be Knobloch, Jeter, and O'Neill for the Yankees in the first inning. Ponson brings it, and he hits it. He hits the strike zone with strike 1. Knobloch is hitting only .267. Ponson on 0-1. Strike 2 in a hurry on Knobloch, who had a 4-hit game here last night. But I think it's still in the surprising category that Knobloch is hitting in the 260s.
Power numbers are up, but the power numbers are not what you're looking for a guy batting in front of Derek Jeter.
Trying to get this Yankee offense started this afternoon, set up at 0-2 and would chase it 1-2. Even with Knobloch hitting in the 260s, it's still a very good 1-2 punch in this Yankee lineup with Knobloch batting in front of Jeter. Both are in the top 10 in runs scored in the American League. That's foul to keep it 1-2.
We had to search and scramble to find problems of the Yankees going into postseason play. And that's not one of them right there. David Wells will be the starter against either Texas or Anaheim at Yankee Stadium a week from Tuesday.
Last night, one of his shakier outings, however, pitching into the 6th inning. He got the victory. As Knobloch took strike 3 over the outside corner, and he does not agree. Field and Colbreth is the home plate umpire. And this pitch was called for strike 3 from Ponson.
It appeared to have the plate. Remember, it's not where the catcher catches it. Chris Hoyles appeared to catch it low, but it did appear to go over the plate above the knees.
So Knobloch is upset as Jeter walks in. They're the umpires today, with Colbreth behind the plate, Kosk at first, Eric Cooper at second, and Ed Hickox over at third. A young umpiring crew here in Baltimore for this series, which is interesting considering the history, the recent history that the Yankees and Orioles have had this year with 2 benches clearing brawls. Get a young umpiring crew. The 0-1 is a jam shot foul, and as it was with Knobloch, it's 0-2 on Jeter.
First brawl of the year was when Armando Benitez hit Tino Martinez. There's Andy Pettitte. We talked about Andy and his start on Monday night and how important it is. There's nothing the Yankees would like better than to have Pettitte strong going into the playoffs. Monday night, a good start, and then a tune-up over the weekend, and he could be the starter on Wednesday night. That is not official, just speculation on our part.
A ball and 2 strikes on Jeter. And that's one of the headline grabbers in New York, is the postseason rotation for Joe Torre. It seems pretty clear and pretty obvious that Wells will start game 1, and after that it's, as you said, still up in the air, but you believe Joe Torre is leaning toward Pettitte pitching in game 2, Cone pitching in game 3, and many wonder if Arabu, not only if he will be in the starting rotation, but if he will be even on the postseason roster the first go around in the division series. 2-2 pitch is fouled out of play off the bat of Jeter.
Joe, I think a good guess right now would be David Wells, Andy Pettitte, David Cone, El Duque, Orlando Hernandez, and then David Wells for game 5. David Cone will work only 1 game in the divisional series, regardless of how long it goes. That from Joe Torre.
The 2-2 pitch is fouled to the left side by Jeter. Still 2-2. You were talking to Joe Torre, and he talked about looking back on the 1996 World Series and looking at the decision that he made to start David Cone in game 3 in Atlanta with the Yankees down 2-0 was probably the biggest decision made in that series.
That's what Joe telling us, and obviously saying that modestly because Joe's not the type of guy to toot his own horn, but trying to learn from the good things and the good decisions that he made in his past postseason, particularly the 1996 season.
3 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out, nobody on for the Yankees in the first inning against Sidney Ponson. Jeter hitting .323, strikes out. Back-to-back strikeouts for Ponson.
This is why Ray Miller, a former pitching coach, loves Sidney Ponson. Bottom falling out of this slider, it appeared, that gets Jeter.
There's a bit of a debate between those who follow the Yankees regularly as to who is the most valuable player, not just in the American League, but on this Yankee club. We just saw Jeter, who would get a lot of votes, and the man at the plate now would get a lot as well. Paul O'Neill, and that is just pure heat from Ponson for strike 1. The numbers for O'Neill year after year are like that, and well, those 2 guys are the 2 leaders on this ball club. O'Neill, the veteran, and Jeter still relatively young in major league experience. 1 ball, 1 strike. And then there's Bernie Williams, who kind of slips by unnoticed, but He won't be unnoticed in the offseason.
Back up the truck, the Brinks truck, that is.
The 1-1 to O'Neill. Ponson is in a spot to strike out the side in the first inning. Ray Miller, longtime pitching coach. Now the manager here with Mike Flanagan as his pitching coach in Baltimore. And O'Neill spoiled a good pitch. And a good play by a fan down to our left.
Ball staying alive with that fastball off the plate. And this again is what Mike Flanagan, the pitching coach, trying to get Ponson to do when he's ahead. Have the hitters reach for the ball and not give them the fatter part of the plate.
This crowd wants 3 strikeouts in the first inning. They'll have to wait. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Doesn't matter what the standings are, and we say this with different series that you run into around the Major League Baseball schedule. This is one of them. This crowd here, even though the Orioles really have nothing left to play for, dying for the Orioles to beat the Yankees. Ooh. Just up and in, 3-2 on O'Neill. Pretty good pitch from Ponson.
Little inside. He wanted a little tail on it. Didn't get it.
2 out, nobody on. 3-2 to O'Neill here in the first inning. Into center field. Brady Anderson back to get it. The Yankees go in order in the first. Bottom of the first inning in Baltimore rolls around. David Cone will go for win number 20 today. No score.
I believe I can call. I think I'll use the phone in the hall.
I call my friends just to say hi.
With 5-cent Sundays from MCI.
My Space Jam buddies and I stay in close touch with MCI's 5-cent Sundays.
Just 5 cents a minute. Every minute. Every Sunday.
Along with low rates all week long. Call 1-800-Sundays to become an MCI customer.
I believe I can call.
It's the way we welcome the sun with 35 sunblock. The way the best water now mostly comes in bottles. It's the way we make time for exercise and like to enjoy reading. Today, more and more people are finding reasons to live healthier. That's why Subway offers 7 subs, each under 6 grams of fat. Because when you're through surfing, you might want to put on a bathing suit. Subway, it's the way a sandwich should be.
Start looking forward to the drive home. Stop commuting. Start driving. Introducing Alero. Alero by Oldsmobile. Start something.
David Cone goes to work. He was in line for a victory his last time out. Bullpen blew it for him. Here's a look at the MCI starting lineup for the Baltimore Orioles. Robbie Alomar leads off at second base. Brady Anderson bats second in center field with Eric Davis hitting third in right field. Rafael Palmeiro is the DH in this game. Red hot his last 9 games, and he's been red hot as an Oriole since coming here from Texas. Calvin Pickering is a rookie first baseman with Cal Ripken at third. B.J. Surhoff in left. Chris Hoyle's catching, hitting 8th. And batting 9th is the shortstop Mike Bordick, who has hit 13 home runs. The New York Yankees defensively with Knobloch at second base, one of the best, and up the middle. That's about as strong as you're going to get defensively with Girardi behind the plate, Jeter at short, Knobloch at second, and Bernie Williams in center field as you look at the numbers for David Cone.
David Cone trying to become the first 20-game winner in the major leagues. And folks, you see our scouting report occasionally. To put up the real scouting report for David Cone would take too much time and too many pages because of his multi-pitch arsenal. He's like the Phil Mickelson of baseball pitchers. Phil Mickelson invents golf shots. Well, David Cone invents pitches. That killer splitter. And he is still a guy with the heart of a hyena. Competitive instincts About as good as anybody you'll find around. And if you're going to include Paul O'Neill and Derek Jeter as leaders on this club, you might as well throw in David Cone as a tri-captain.
Part of a hyena is a good thing, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Alomar, Anderson, and Davis for the Orioles in the first inning against David Cone. And as you look at the career for David Cone and the year by year for this veteran right-hander, you realize a couple of things. To go a point further maybe that you talked about, this is one of the true big game pitchers as Alomar lines it to right, played on a hop by O'Neill, and a leadoff base hit for Roberto Alomar. But you have a big game like we already talked about, game 3 of the '96 World Series, down 2-0 going to Atlanta. This is the guy you want on the mound. This is the guy the Yankees had on the mound, and the Yankees, as you know, went on to win 4 consecutive games and win that 1996 World Series.
Talk about on the mound. Who can ever forget that conversation between Joe Torre and David Cone? Are you all right? Don't lie to me. Tell me the truth. He told him the truth, got the next batter out, and the Yankees went on to win that and then came from behind. The Atlanta Braves trailing 6-0 and won that game in 11. That was game 4 after the Cone victory.
Here's Brady Anderson batting in the number 2 spot with Alomar leading off. Alomar has a hit and Anderson has a 1-ball no-strike count. Brady has hit 17 home runs, an average of 239. So this has been a down year all around for Brady Anderson. He's had trouble with injury as he has the past couple of years. The 1-0 from Cone. That's another base hit. Back-to-back hits. Alomar will go to third. First and third, nobody out for the Orioles in the first.
Robbie Alomar hit the splitter, and so did Brady Anderson. Interestingly, Alomar had to hold up to see if that ball was going to be caught. He still went to third base. Not a lot of major league base runners would do that. Good hitting by Anderson going down and getting that splitter.
So with first and third and nobody out, here is Eric Davis. Another potential unrestricted free agent at the end of the year. And his contract demands are getting higher and higher as we go. And he can justify demands that he be paid in the $4+ million category, which is the reported figure. As you look at his numbers, he has a chance to put the Orioles out in front. And he takes a ball low.
You've heard about a guy with 2 careers after laying out. Eric Davis has really had 3 careers. Before he laid out a year and a half, and then coming back, and he conquered cancer. What a remarkable career, and man, Eric Davis has been over the last decade.
Up the middle, through a base hit, 3 consecutive singles, and the Orioles have a 1-0 first inning lead as Alomar touches home plate. Well, David Cone has been suffering from the flu, not to make excuses, but it is a factor. Talking to Joe Torre before the game, he said he's not feeling great, but he will be out there looking for win number 20, and he's behind 1-0 here in the first.
3 straight singles for the Orioles. When you talk about David Cone, he will have one more shot at winning 20 games. That'll be next Thursday when the Yankees return to Yankee Stadium. And if he doesn't win 20 games, the Yankees could be a team with the most wins and no 20-game winners. Cone's the only guy with a shot.
Here's Palmeiro, and there's ball 1 up and away. Rafael Palmeiro, great numbers, and he's in the category in this day and age with today's game of a great ball player. 4 consecutive years of 35+ home runs and 100 RBIs, and this is that 4th consecutive year, and another potential unrestricted free agent. 2-0, and Cone doesn't seem to have much on the mound today.
David Cone calling time, and then asking Joe Girardi to come out there. That was an odd pitch. Looked like Cone slipped. Kind of one of those blah balls up to the plate.
This is not already too much unlike his last start against Toronto, in trouble in every inning, yet left the game with a 3-1 lead. The bullpen couldn't hang on to that lead. He was stuck on 19 victories, and he doesn't appear to have much in the way of pitches or energy here in the first inning. After that last pitch, he kind of hung his head. Looked like he was worn out. Flu bug has hit the Yankees hard over the past couple of weeks. Palmeiro down the right field line. Trouble if it's fair. O'Neill in the corner, off the wall. It's a fair ball, and Anderson will come around to score. Eric Davis heads for third. Palmeiro gunned down at second as the Orioles take a 2-0 lead.
See, Palmeiro looking over at Eric Davis. He couldn't go to second because Eric Davis was unsure about whether the ball was going to be caught. One thing here, if you're Chuck Knobloch, you've got to go out to right field, because when the ball caroms off the fence, it's going to carom back toward the infield. But the reason Palmeiro is thrown out at second, he had to wait to make sure for Davis to go to third. This ball ends up about halfway from the fence and the infield. I think Chuck Knobloch's got to be out for that play and follow the play as it is. Jeter makes the tag.
So now the infield comes in with a runner at third and one out. 2-0 the Orioles lead in the first inning. And David Cone faces young Calvin Pickering. That's down the left field line and out of play. When the Orioles had their September call-ups, they didn't call from AAA. The call was sent down to AA Bowie. They found Pickering there, who is a powerful left-handed swinger. Ryan Miner, another one, who's got a chance to be a good player, but there wasn't much at AAA. Runner at third, one out. Pickering grounds to Knobloch. It'll keep Davis at third, 2 out. So Pickering misses a chance, the runner at third and only 1 out, to pick up his first RBI, and now it's up to Cal Ripken Jr. Last night Ripken played in consecutive game 2,631, which is exactly 500 more than the 2131 set years ago by Lou Gehrig. Runner at third, 2 out, and that's off speed from David Cone for strike one.
Cal Ripken with yet another batting stance. The ball down and in, and the ball down and out over the plate are the pitches on which he makes a living right now. But you can see that closed stance with the left foot about 4 inches from the plate.
That's off the plate, and they've ruled it a foul ball. It wasn't off the plate. What we heard was the ball hitting the foot of Cal Ripken as he limps around.
See, had that been the old stance, it wouldn't have hit his foot. That foot near the plate right there. Those things always hurt. They're rarely serious. Ouch. Right off the instep.
So you can come here to Baltimore. You can check the progress of the different stances of Cal Ripken Jr. You can check the progress of the Inner Harbor area, which gets prettier every time we come here. And it seems like every time we come here, there's a new stadium. They have a new football stadium. We got a new beautiful football stadium.
Where the NFL Ravens play, just a stone's throw from here.
Runner at third, 2 out. And a ground ball to short. Jeter circles it. Ripken is gone and the inning is over. But the Orioles come up with 2 runs on 4 hits. They lose a man on the bases. And after 1 in Baltimore, 2-0 Orioles.
I snuck to the '63 World Series. Let's go. Got on a train. What if I got lost? They may have never found me. I didn't care. I knew Sandy Koufax was pitching, and I was going. When that ball was thrown across the field and they started jumping up in the air, everything went crazy. the magnitude of being there and seeing what goes on, yes, sometimes you become overwhelmed. You become a fan.
One official Major League Baseball, $9. New ball, $9. New ball, $9. New ball, new ball, new ball, $9. New windshield, $100. 62 and counting, priceless. There are some things money can't buy. For everything else, there's MasterCard. Official card of Major League Baseball and believer that records were made to be broken.
Insuring over 40 million people worldwide.
3 things I always do before I barbecue ribs. Whip up my secret hot sauce, get the coals just right, and I always take a Pepsid AC.
Whatever's cooking, Pepsid AC can stop heartburn before it starts.
Oh, yeah.
Introducing the Midas Battery. Now for just $49.99 with rebate. Batteries, brand new from Midas.
It's the season premiere that'll make history.
I am an inventor.
Invent yourself some underpants. And all new Simpsons tomorrow at 8/7 Central on Fox.
Sidney Ponson had a perfect first inning, and his teammates just got him 2 runs, so we go to the second, 2-0 Orioles. There he is again. He makes our air again. And he's starting, Tim, to approach the category of a Jeffrey Mayer highlight. I can't watch that again. I can't talk about that again. And then there's the lemonade guy.
The human Cuisinart.
Yes.
You don't mind taking lemonade from him, but not first aid.
Well, here we go. Bernie Williams leads it off, the cleanup hitter for the Yankees. Number 1 in the American League, hitting .334. It's nice, Tim, to go into a bit of a tailspin and still be hitting .334. Average has dropped since we last saw the Yankees, but he's still leading the American League, and he's approaching the 100 RBI plateau at 94.
With 1 week left in the season, Mo Vaughn is second with a .330 average. Paul O'Neill at .324, as is Albert Bell. What a great year Bell is having, overshadowed, of course, by the Sosa McGuire home runs. Anybody who does not have over 60 home runs, you don't even notice.
Well, I think Albert Bell's year, as you look at the numbers for Bernie Williams, who's a great career hitter here at Camden Yards, and the Yankees are a team that usually marches right through Camden Yards. They've got 25 wins here, which is the most of any visiting American League club, and they're 8-2 against the Orioles this year overall. I think Albert Bell's year is overshadowed by Albert Bell.
Yeah, that's
with everything that he's done, and all of the problems. He's having a career year, yet nobody really pays any attention because people are tired of paying attention to Albert Bell.
Not that he has had problems this year, but his problems in past years have overshadowed whatever he would do.
Last year was a relatively quiet year until the All-Star break and the game at Cleveland, when he didn't really participate in anything. He took the roster spot, but he didn't participate in the team photo. He wasn't in any of the drills. He didn't appear in the game.
Told Mike Hargrove that he didn't want to play, or Joe Torre, I should say, did not want to play, and he didn't.
That's down. 3 balls, 2 strikes on Bernie Williams leading off, which is a shame. That roster spot should have gone to somebody who wanted to play in the game.
Yep, right.
Just take it just to go. Probably picked up a contract bonus along the way. Bernie Williams leading off, 3-2 pitch. Will stay 3-2 as Ponson, who struck out the first 2 in the first inning, got out in front of Williams. Now it's a full count. One thing we were reminded of in the bottom of the first inning was the strong and accurate throwing arm of Paul O'Neill as he gunned down Rafael Palmeiro, trying to stretch it to a double. That ball high off the wall and right. 3-2 to Williams leading off, and a leadoff walk from Ponson. And the Yankee fans get a charge out of that. And there are many here in attendance this afternoon. That'll bring in Tino Martinez. Tino with 115 RBIs, 7th in the American League. It is a dangerous lineup top to bottom. It is a well-balanced lineup top to bottom. And I know it's been mentioned many times, but it is almost in the category of amazing that a team like the Yankees can win 106 games to this point. They're 60 over the 500 mark, yet nobody jumps up and says I'm the MVP of the American League on this club. It is a total team effort. Ball 1 to Tino Martinez.
Chili Davis gone for 118 days. Bernie Williams on the DL earlier. Derek Jeter's missed some time. So is Chuck Knobloch. Tino Martinez with a bad shoulder after being hit by Armando Benitez.
Ponson a leadoff walk. Now the 1-0 to Tino. Popped up. Left side of the infield. Ripken wants it. One down. 1 on, 1 out, and we will remind you this copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Commissioner of Baseball and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the expressed written consent. Here's Chili Davis. Getting more and more swings from the left side. He had a pulled muscle in his right side, which prohibited him from swinging from this side of the plate. But he's getting healthier and healthier and better, and this is one of the best DHs in the history of the DH that the Yankees have added to their lineup plate. One on, 1 out. 0-1 the count on Chili Davis, and a check on Williams, who has stolen 14. David Cone probably thrilled to be out of that first inning with only a 2-run deficit the way he started with 4 consecutive singles. Bernie Williams is drawing the attention of Sidney Ponson. Strawberry waits on deck. Here it is on 0-1. Pretty good fastball from Ponson. 93 on our radar gun. Strike 2.
For those of you folks who are familiar with the game of chess, it's almost like Joe Torre has been playing his side this year without a pawn. He loses a knight, it's replaced by a knight. He loses a rook, it's replaced by a rook. No pawns on this ball club.
0-2 the count on Chili Davis. And that just did miss the corner. 1-2.
Chili Davis, among other things, the most notorious off-speed hitter perhaps in the game today. And when you're a good off-speed hitter, that means you're a good low ball hitter.
Davis steps out as he's set up here. 1-2.
I think it's interesting to note that low ball hitters have slower bats than high ball hitters. In order to hit the high pitch effectively, you have to have quicker hands.
One on, 1 out, and Davis pops it foul, back and out of play.
That's a type of pitch that would give a guy like Chili Davis problems. The ball right around the waist and hard stuff. Most pitchers in the American League try to waste the breaking balls and then throw the fastballs, even though that was not as high as I thought it was, but Chili not around on it.
Chili Davis had one of his first testers batting left-handed against Pedro Martinez. this past week. And he will be tested with a good hard fastball from Ponson. That misses 2-2. But they still, talking about the Yankees, are in a fine-tuning mode. And they are trying to get everything in order for the postseason, along with getting Chili Davis healthy, giving regulars a day off here and there, giving the starting rotation an extra day of rest. The one thing that seems very important to Joe Torre amongst all the records is to win more games than any Yankee team in the history of that great organization. And they can do that. They have a record of 106-46 by splitting their last 10 games. Give them 111 victories, which would be one more than the 1927 Yankees, as Davis pops it into center. Brady Anderson there, 2 out.
1927 Yankees, the real standard bearer. Everybody talks about them when they talk about the greatest team of all time.
Darryl Strawberry walks into a chorus of boos as you look at Joe Torre. What he's done as manager in New York with the Yankees is remarkable. And here's Strawberry with 1 on, 2 out. Darryl Strawberry, who hit a mammoth home run here the last time the Yankees were visiting Baltimore, pops it straight up. Good luck, Robbie Alomar. Forget it, Calvin. Give it to Robbie. Hitting over. A leadoff walk. Ponson gets around it. Strawberry's gone, and we go to the bottom of the second with the Orioles leading 2-0.
You guys are in here again? I can't believe this. You're always in here nursing your injuries. I have never seen such a group of cream puffs in my life. This is football. I need guys that can play.
Man, I thought he'd never leave.
For the great taste that won't fill you up and never let you down, make it a Bud Light.
Hot dog, anyone?
Savor the summer. Live Maine lobster, specially priced at $14.99. A warm reminder that at Red Lobster, the season isn't over.
How sweet it is to be loved by you.
At National, we always thought of ourselves as the top car rental company, and now we're glad to see that our customers agree.
How sweet it is to be loved by you.
You see, according to a J.D. Power and Associates study, National's just been ranked the highest car rental company in customer satisfaction in a tie. Thanks. We couldn't have done it without you.
How sweet it is to be loved by you. How sweet it is.
Let's go.
Fox Saturday Baseball Game of the Week, brought to you by Bud Light. For the great taste that won't fill you up and never let you down, make it a Bud Light. By Red Lobster, come in and see for yourself why life on land is dry at Red Lobster. By National Car Rental, so what are you waiting for? Let's go. And by MCI 5-cent Sundays, pay the least on the day you call the most.
Well, there's no surprise there as you see the people filing into this ballpark and milling around out beyond the right field wall. The Inner Harbor area, and this entire region, the Baltimore D.C. area, just flourishing. Mentioned the new stadiums. This is really the oldest one around here, surprisingly enough, and they've only been playing baseball here since 1992. Redskins are in a new stadium, Jack Kent Cooke, and then there's the new football stadium, which is, as you said, a stone's throw from Camden Yards, and it got rave reviews as it opened for the Ravens in this 1998-99 football season. It's unintentional, purely unintentional. B.J. Surhoff leads it off and takes a ball low from David Cone. Cone faced the first 4 hitters and gave up 4 consecutive singles. The Orioles lost a man on the bases, scored only 2. 1 ball, 1 strike from Cone. If David Cone should reach the 20-win mark in 1998, it would accomplish really an incredible record for Cone as Surhoff rips it foul. He would have the longest time in between, talking about years, 20-win seasons. 1988, he won 20 games with the Mets. And in 1998, he could win 20 games with the Yankees, and that's considered 9 years in between. Surhoff is gone, and that's the first strikeout for Cone. The record right now is 7, held by a friend of all of ours, Jim Cott, who had an incredible year in 1966 with Minnesota, won 25 games. David Cone is on that list with what he's doing here in 1998. The AL Cy Young Award candidates. Clemens, I think, is at the top of that list and at the top of many lists for that Cy Young Award.
Hard to believe that Roger Clemens was 5-6 back in May. Since then, he's won 14 in a row. 2 shy of the American League record, held by 4 pitchers. Walter Johnson, Smokey Joe Wood, Lefty Grove, and Schoolboy Rowe all won 16 in a row during 1 year. The major league record, 24 in a row over 2 seasons, 1936 and 1937, by the great Carl Hubble.
1 ball, 1 strike on Hoyles, the number 8 hitter, with Bordick on deck. And strike 2 on Chris.
All of those aforementioned pitchers, by the way, had hearts of hyenas.
It's a second hyena reference.
I don't think hyenas get enough credit. You always hear the heart of a lion.
Oh. 1 and 2 on Hoyles. 1 out, nobody on. Off speed, had him way out in front. Back-to-back strikeouts for Cone. Right now for a Coors Light game break. Back to Chip Carey in the Fox Television Center.
Hi, Joe and Tim. Wild card implications in Chicago. Mr. Martinez just served up a 3-run home run to Mike Cameron. How about the White Sox trying to play the role of the spoiler? Boston's wild card hopes maybe, well, they're in pretty good shape, but not today. It's 3-0.
All right, Chip, thank you. Yeah, their hopes are pretty good because of the way the Blue Jays have kind of tapered off. It's a 5-game lead for the Red Sox as we approach the final week of the season. 1 ball, 1 strike. Still, people in Boston, though, get a little shaky and a little nervous when you start talking about final month collapses. Bordick flies to center. This is the 20th anniversary of a not-so-good collapse in Boston back in 1978. A shot by Bucky Dent, and all those hopes went down the drain. Right now, it's 2-0 Orioles after 2.
You're watching Fox, home of the 1998 World Series.
Burdick Ford is celebrating its first year at their state-of-the-art facility with special incentives on all new Ford trucks, Explorers, Expeditions, heavy-duty F-Series trucks. You name it, we've got it at Burdick Ford. Plus, factory rebates, special lease programs, and low financing rates make driving your new Burdick Ford truck very affordable. Come see why Burdick Ford was named a winning dealer in customer satisfaction. Find the new Ford truck you need today at Burdick Ford, just off I-81 at Route 49.
Car keys broken? Lost? Need extra copies? Make the right choice. Freyden Lock. Continuous training and the latest equipment keeps Freyden Lock up to date on most vehicles, including those with factory-installed anti-theft systems. Freyden Lock can make your high-security keys or replace ignition and door locks. You'll be pleased with the professional service from Freyden Lock. Remember, to open it, lock it, start it, safeguard it. It's Freyden Lock, 467 Vernon Avenue. Find us fast in the Bell Atlantic Yellow Pages.
Peter Vallone is very liberal with taxpayers' money. He voted 78 times for higher taxes. He voted 20 times for higher income taxes. Vallone voted 18 times to raise property taxes. Peter Vallone voted 14 times to extend the suburban commuter tax. And Peter Vallone even voted 20 times for higher sales taxes. Peter Vallone, very taxing.
For Jake, it's a 100-year-old tradition that's new this morning.
We'll have Thomas's. Thomas's? Just watch me.
Thomas's English muffins. Toast up crisp and golden.
It looks funny. That's the nooks and... Crannies. Crannies.
Just like Mr. Thomas made them over 100 years ago.
I made this good. You had a great teacher.
The goodness of Thomas's English muffins. Also with real blueberries or apples and cinnamon. 2 more fresh ideas from Thomas's.
TV that's too cool. Fox 68, WSYT, Syracuse.
It's going to be one of those days, isn't it, Tim? It's going to be a lemonade guy kind of day. It's going to be these type of individuals.
That fella landed in the wrong nest.
I don't think there is a more hazardous or frightening job going than that.
Window washing?
Yeah, it's awful. I mean,
I agree.
You talk about a thankless risk of your life every time you wake up in the morning. As Brocious skies one down the left field line, it takes a bounce as it drops foul for strike 1.
It's even hairier if you're inside the room and you're looking out and the window washer is there. That can be quite embarrassing too.
That sounds like a man who's been caught.
Yep.
0-1, the count on Brocious with Girardi and Knobloch, and a Let's Go Yankees cheer starts to emanate from this crowd, which has a lot of Yankee fans in it here today in Baltimore. 1 ball, 1 strike on Brocious, a 301 hitter. And I don't care what anybody says, nobody expected this kind of production. 92 RBIs from predominantly a number 8 or 9 hitter. Nobody expected that from Brocious after a horrific year, I'm sure by his own account, last year in Oakland. But he has stepped it up and fit right into this Yankee machine, which is what it has been in 1998. 2-1 to the leadoff hitter, Brocious, 3rd inning. To the left side, tough play, Bordick. He'll show you how he can do it. 1 away. One former Oakland Athletic gets another, and in the holes, Mike Bordick proves time and time again why this guy is one of the best defensive shortstops in the game.
2 guys who used to play on the same side of the infield for Oakland. Watch him plant right there so he can get something on the throw and just get Scott Brocious. Good play. Ball stayed up for him. The hop stayed up for him, that is. Nice play by Bordick.
Bordick has committed only 7 errors this season. And he has had a ton of chances with this Oriole pitching staff. 7th in the American League at 4.68, but they've had their struggles this year, especially with the injuries, and that's what the Orioles will point to in 1998, injuries to the starting rotation. That's what the Cardinals will point to in 1998, injuries with the starting rotation. But those 2 teams mentioned are 2 teams that have thoroughly disappointed their fans this season. 3-0 the count on Girardi with 1 out, nobody on. Drabek's now out in that bullpen. Started the year in the starting rotation. Scott Kamieniecki had fusion surgery in his neck this past week, and we wish him a speedy recovery. 3 balls and a strike on Girardi. And at the top of it all is Ray Miller, who's had his fair share of criticism this year. A 1-out walk, 2nd walk, handed out by Ponson. Right now, a Coors Light game break. Back to Chip in the Fox Television Center.
Hi, Joe. You know, it's been a lot of fun covering Mark McGwire and Sammy Sosa, but how about Manny Ramirez? He's hit not 1, but 2 home runs already today. 8 homers in his last 5 games. 10 of his last 12 hits have left the ballpark. He's hit 45 homers on the year for the Indians. He's getting hot at the right time. Indians 6, Royals nothing in the 4th. Back to you in Baltimore.
Talk about a guy on fire, tying an American League record earlier in the week with 6 home runs in 3 games.
Now 8 and 5.
Man.
1 on, 1 out for Knobloch, who struck out his first time. Looking, takes a strike over the inside part from Ponson. Girardi with a 1-out walk. Knobloch is jammed, and he pops it up. Tough play, Eric Davis, Robbie Alomar, and Alomar takes it with his back to the infield. 2 gone. Good play by Alomar on the dead sprint. Don't know if Davis would have gotten there. Tonight, FX Baseball Saturday night follows Big Mac's race with Sammy Sosa for the home run record as the Cardinals visit Milwaukee, take on the Brewers. It all starts tonight at 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific, only on FX. So you can catch it live on FX tonight. Mark McGwire against the Brewers. And not only did McGwire hit a home run last night, he hit 2 balls foul into the upper deck. And those back pains from earlier in the week have disappeared, and he is back and zoned in. Took him about a week, I think, to recuperate after being the first one to 62.
Certainly understandable. Cute, huh?
Drawing on a balloon.
Gingerly.
Yes. 1 on with 2 out for Jeter, who struck out his first time. One ball, no strikes. There you go. A little split allegiance. They both have the Yankee shirts on, but one's wearing a Seattle hat, which this year is not going to upset anybody in Yankee land. 1 ball, no strikes on Jeter. 1 on, 2 out, and low and away, 2-0. Derek Jeter has 191 hits. Only in his 3rd full year in the big leagues, and the 191 hits are number 2 in the American League to his buddy Alex Rodriguez, who has 200 for Seattle. And a 40-40 man as a shortstop. 1 on, 2 out, 2 balls and a strike. Three and 1 from Ponson.
That's the one thing you do not hear about Rodriguez as we take a look at Derek Jeter's spray chart. Spreads them around. Most hitters that hit for average, you could almost say, make a blanket statement that all hitters that hit for average spray the ball around from line to line.
But few, as you have said before, go to right as well as Derek Jeter from this side of the plate. Comes up empty there, 3 and 2. And the runner at first, Girardi, will take off on this next pitch.
Thing that's different about Derek Jeter, he can hit the inside pitch the other way with that inside out stroke of his. Sidney Ponson throwing awfully hard, just like he did the last time he faced the Yankees in this ballpark.
Runner goes, 3-2 pitch. Jeter will do it again.
That was that type of swing that we were talking about with Derek Jeter. That inside out swing. You think you're going to get it by him, and he drags the bat head through the strike zone. Fouls this one off, but that is an inside out stroke right there on a great freeze.
Jeter against Ponson, top of the 3rd inning, 2-0 Orioles. Runner goes. Jeter strikes out. Number 3 for Sidney Ponson, the young 21-year-old. He struck out Jeter twice this afternoon. Still 2-0 Baltimore.
2 all-beef patties, special sauce, lettuce, cheese, pickles, onions on the sesame seed bun.
Get back with Big Mac and win. Peel off the timepiece ticket on a medium or a large soft drink or a Big Mac, and you could win then and now prizes like a 68 VW Beetle from then and a 98 VW New Beetle from now. Win both. So get up and get down to McDonald's, you dig?
I don't remember any of this, but it's fun.
Did somebody say McDonald's?
Hey, you got a quarter? amount of cash? Did you know if you use 1-800-CALL-ATT for collect calls, you pay the same low rate 24 hours a day, anywhere, anytime? And it's the guaranteed cheap way to make collect calls. That's great, right? C-A-L-L-A-T-T. C-A-L-L-A-T-T.
I got it.
Use 1-800-CALL-ATT for collect calls.
I never walk into a place I don't know how to walk out of.
Let's go!
You worried about saving your own skin? Yeah, I am. Covers my body.
United Artists presents the thriller that will keep you guessing.
What's in the case?
Keep you thinking.
A girl sold us out. We're following the wrong people.
And keep you on the edge of your seat. Academy Award winner Robert De Niro.
What are you?
Ronin, rated R. Starts Friday.
1 can of paint, $26.
Al, check approval, register 5.
1 can of paint, $26.
Al, check approval on 5.
1 lousy can of paint, $26.
Al.
Knowing you'll never have to wait for Al, priceless. Debit MasterCard withdraws right from your checking account without the hassle of checks. There are some things money can't buy. For everything else, there's Debit MasterCard.
Al.
On Fox NFL Sunday, Favre and the Packers battle the Bengals, or the Redskins take on the Seahawks. Fox NFL Sunday, tomorrow at noon Eastern, 9 Pacific.